Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're putting on our forensic analyst hats. We're going to objectively break down the truly chilling disappearance of 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie. We are stripping away all the noise and reconstructing this case using strictly technical data, digital telemetry, and physical evidence. Let's get into it. Here is our PACE briefing agenda. We'll start with the strict chronology of the abduction window, move through the physical evidence and interagency dynamics, analyze those ransom threats, and finally clear up the public information contamination. Section 1. The primary abduction window. Telemetry and digital breadcrumbs. Now, looking at the victimology, the specific details here are absolutely critical. Nancy Guthrie is 84 years old, she requires daily life-sustaining medication, and she has severely limited mobility. We're talking unable to walk 50 yards unassisted, totally reliant on a cardiac pacemaker. Forensically speaking, these vulnerabilities dictate that a voluntary departure is just impossible. The data tells us, without a doubt, that this was a forced extraction. And the raw telemetry from her home establishes the exact abduction gap. Check this out. At 1:47 a.m., her Nest camera is manually disconnected. Then at 2:12 a.m., local software detects motion, but it doesn't save any video. And then we hit the definitive forensic marker. At 2:28 a.m., her pacemaker's Bluetooth connection to her smartphone is permanently lost. This establishes a highly specific 16-minute window for the actual breach and extraction. Moving on to Section 2, physical evidence and the suspect, forensics at the scene. So at the scene, investigators found very clear signs of forced entry, along with the trail of blood near the front door. And yes, that was rapidly confirmed to match Nancy Guthrie's DNA. Now, further out, tactical teams recovered 16 discarded gloves. But here's the catch. 15 of those actually belonged to search and rescue personnel. Only one single glove found 2 miles away contained an unknown male's DNA profile. That is a massive find. Leveraging some enhanced security footage, the FBI was actually able to build a physical profile. The subject is male, roughly 5'9" to 5'10", with an average build, and during the breach, we know he was armed and carrying a very specific 25-liter black Ozark Trail backpack. These forensic stills, which were recovered from the Google Nest camera, capture the incredibly chilling moment of interference. You can literally see the masked, gloved individual tampering with the device, right? He's covering the lens with vegetation. This is our absolute best, most direct visual evidence of the perpetrator in the minutes immediately preceding that 16-minute abduction window. To force a breakthrough and really incentivize actionable intelligence, the financial stakes have completely skyrocketed. We're looking at a combined $1.1 million in reward money. That is a staggering sum, funded by both the FBI and a private offer from the Guthrie family, all meant to finally break the silence. Section 3, Federal versus Local Jurisdiction, Operational Challenges. Behind the scenes, a pretty tense dynamic unfolded between local and federal authorities. The Pima County Sheriff's Department, they really wanted to maintain local control, using a private Florida lab to fast-track DNA processing. On the flip side, the FBI demanded that physical evidence, like that recovered suspect glove we just talked about, be sent directly to their national crime lab in Quantico. This kind of friction really highlights the immense operational pressure present in high-profile cases like this. And honestly, perhaps the most frustrating operational delay came down to something as simple as a cloud subscription. Because the victim didn't have paid cloud storage, crucial overwritten video just wasn't immediately available. It took 9 full days of federal intervention from the FBI to recover that video from Google's back-end servers. 9 days is an absolute eternity in a case where every single minute dictates survival. On to Section 4, analyzing the ransom claims and conducting a threat assessment. Looking at the data, we have to ask a really clinical, objective question here. Are investigators actually dealing with the captors who extracted Nancy Guthrie? Or are these just opportunistic cyber extortionists capitalizing on the massive media frenzy surrounding the case? Let's break down the evidence. Encrypted emails were sent to a local TV station demanding payment in Bitcoin. However, 2 strict deadlines quietly passed on February 5th and February 9th. And most tellingly, there has been a total lack of proof of life, despite the family's $1 million offer. Given those past deadlines and the victim's highly fragile cardiovascular health, forensic profilers heavily weigh the grim probability of a fatal medical event occurring during or shortly after the violent extraction.
Section 5. Speculation and information contamination. Debunking the noise.
The absolute first piece of noise we need to debunk involves the victim's family. Now, despite rampant online rumors and media speculation regarding the son-in-law Tommaso Cioni, who, yes, dropped her off and was the last person to verify seeing her, law enforcement has officially and definitively cleared him and all family members of any involvement whatsoever. The investigation's databases were just further contaminated by wild false leads. The sheer volume of noise was staggering, honestly. We're talking database confusion with an identically named author in Tennessee, the discovery of 1,000-year-old prehistoric bones falsely linked to the case, a totally botched sheriff's tweet claiming Nancy located that was actually about a completely different woman, and even direct scene interference from trespassing true crime YouTubers. So as we conclude this briefing, we are left with a pretty chilling final thought. With the primary survival window likely closed due to her severe medical dependencies, what is going to be the key to cracking this case? Will it be the digital breadcrumbs of a Bitcoin trace, vehicle telemetry from a towed SUV, or will it be a single microscopic strand of DNA from that one glove that finally brings closure to the Guthrie family? Thank you so much for joining me in this explainer, and remember to always keep your eyes open for the data that actually matters.